Hello and welcome to the latest edition of The Exchange, brought to you by the New York Stock Exchange. As a reminder, today's interview is for informational purposes only. The NYC does not recommend investments or investment strategies. We're live on the floor with Nicole Hunter. Nicole is the head of ETF capital markets at Dimensional and a good friend of the New York Stock Exchange. Nicole, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Doug. It's quite a pleasure.
So I want to talk a little bit about the history of your suite of ETFs. You know, how have the flows been? How did we sort of get where we've gotten to? Where's all this sort of rapid development coming from?
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy 2.5 years. Back then, we roll back the clock, we had a very strong demand for ETFs from our clients, right? And everything we do at Dimensional is with our clients. They really wanted to see Dimensional's investment solutions, our approach to markets in an ETF structure. So we moved very quickly, and we have 30 ETFs, 85 billion. Now you look at just the flows in the first quarter alone, it was $9 billion across all 30. No single product really dominating, showing the broad adoption of all of our products in our clients' asset allocation. It's been pretty fun to partner with them to bring all of these to market.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, again, against this backdrop in this market, the growth has been pretty incredible. What are some of the differentiators with Dimensional? How does that lineup compare and contrast? Especially, you know, historically, there's been this sort of conversation about active and passive. Where does Dimensional fit into all this?
You know, investors often think, given the ETF landscape out there, that you have to choose a pure index ETF or like a stock picking ETF. You don't actually. And here at Dimensional, we offer our clients the best of both worlds. You get all of the benefits of index, broad diversification, low price point, but you also get the benefits of active, flexible implementation. You can approach daily, robust risk management, and today, especially this week, that's important. You know, all seeking a higher expected return. So at Dimensional, you get the best of both worlds. That makes us very different than the other offerings out there. In fact, if you look at the flows, just among active ETFs, most of the, within the top 10 funds that are getting flows for active ETFs, most of them are systematic. Clients are looking for a better way forward. They want a systematic approach that blends both of those, you know, the best of both worlds, and that's what Dimensional does.
So let's talk a little bit about that, right? Last year, 55 brand new asset managers entered the ETF space here at the New York Stock Exchange. A third of all flows this year in the first quarter were in active ETFs, which is really amazing. You know, it's a highly competitive landscape. It keeps growing in competitiveness. Where does Dimensional stand out? How do you what's your take on all these new entrants coming into the active space?
You know, at Dimensional, we have a long history. We've got a 40-year track record of bringing this discipline, this systematic approach to investing to investors, you know, seeking higher expected returns. We're now doing it in an ETF structure, and we just talked a little bit about the success that we've seen, the broad adoption of our clients, and even new segments of the market. We've seen institutional usage. We're seeing different players come in and adopt our strategies. It doesn't surprise me that others are following our success and coming to market with their own version. You know, I expect the space to grow, and I think that's encouraging because investors deserve a better option.
So investment managers that are out there, right? Maybe they're new adopters to the ETF space. They're entering. You know, are there sort of best practices on how they start to allocate their resources?
I'm a little biased here because I think everybody needs a capital markets function when they launch an ETF business. But you know that the devil's in the details here. A lot of issuers or asset managers, you know, I've seen this, they underestimate the ecosystem and the details in the process. You can't just bolt on an ETF business to your mutual fund business. You've got to think about the timing, the flows, the platform, the infrastructure to really scale and, you know, last the test of time. We've seen the news this week of over 60 products being closed, and we want to make sure that you know, we at Dimensional, we're building that best-in-class scale, which we've done across equity and fixed income.
So investors, advisors are out there, they're saying, hey, I want to learn more about Dimensional, your lineup of ETFs. Where should they go?
Dimensional.com, yeah, and give us a call. We'd love to talk.
And of course, Nicole and her team are there to help you with your ETF trading, execution. It's dimensional.com. Or, of course, you can go to our website. That's etfcentral.com. Just type in Dimensional. You'll find the entire suite of their ETFs, and you can learn more about their ETFs, about trading, about liquidity. And, of course, all brought to you by the New York Stock Exchange, the home of ETFs.